Well, hello friends, Jebabai here, coming at you with another video about my favorite Metallica riffs. You don't want to miss this one. Well, hello there, Facebookers, YouTubers, and all other onlookers. Jimmy P. Brown II, aka Jebabai, coming at you with another video about my favorite Metallica riffs that influenced my playing. And just very, very excited about doing this. It's been a while since I've actually tackled pulling out the guitar and doing it on video. So I'm going to have a little fun today with this. I'm looking very, very forward to it. So before we dive right in, let me go ahead and encourage you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, the like button, and of course the little ringy ding to let you know of any future videos that I do put out. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, and it helps my algorithms and more people to see my videos and for me to keep doing what I'm doing. So I'd appreciate that. That's out of the way. Let's dive right in. In the world of metal, whether you want to subgenre it into speed metal, thrash metal, whatever you want to call it, I don't think there's been any more influential wrist that has been copied, mimicked, impersonated more so than that of James Hetfield from Metallica. What kind of caused me to want to do this video is I've just been seeing different videos on YouTube over the last 6 to 8 months, just saying, you know, James has lost it. He doesn't have that wrist anymore, and he, just doesn't have that flavor and that vibe. He can't even play the old riffs the same. And James has even felt a little insecure about his own playing. And it's like, for all those naysayers and all those people that are out there just bashing James, it's like, you do this for 30 plus years, having broken your wrist, I don't know how many times, and third-degree burns during a show, and went out and performed anyway, just as a singer. You just got to love the fact of his dedication and that he was able to keep doing what he was doing. So if now, all these decades later, he's slowed down, he's not able to really articulate the way he used to, well, it doesn't matter. The fact is he innovated a rhythm style that, like I said, would permeate the metal scene going forward. Let's dive right in. Let's get into some of the riffs that influenced me. Now, first off, I want to say I'm not performing a clinic. I'm not saying this is how you're supposed to play James's riffs. Nothing like that. I don't even know if I'm playing them right. I'm going strictly off of what my ear tells me he was playing on the record. And these are the songs that influenced me, that when I first heard them, I just was, jaw dropped, mouth wide open going, wow. So that's where those are what I'm doing. If you have any other ideas and say, oh man, these are more seminal riffs, these are more riffs that were a bigger influence, man, drop them in the comments or come by my website and drop me a line. I'd love to hear it and maybe even do a second video, because there's no question James is the riff master. So I'm playing today what's called an R7 Gibson Les Paul. R7 basically just means a reissue of the 1957 Gold Top with custom Bucker pickups in there. Obviously, they couldn't put real PAFs in there, but these are custom Buckers, which are the closest thing to. It's a fantastic sound, and that's why I'm using that today. People are going to say, well, James used an Explorer, and you used to play an Explorer. Where's your Explorer? I don't have one. So that's why I'm using the closest thing to me that gets great guitar tone and that Gibson lush, beefy tone. So there you go. I'm running this through my board and going into the Mesa Boogie, going into the Mesa Boogie Mark 525. It's set on the Mark II C setting. My gain is right around between 12 and 1 o'clock. Okay, diving right into the songs. These are in no certain order. The last one is, and we'll get a little bit into that. But these are just songs that came to my head when I was first scheming out what I wanted to do for this video. And the first song is off the Master of Puppets album, and it's the instrumental Orion. You're probably thinking to yourself, Orion? Why Orion? There's nothing real special going on. There is something special going on, and it's one of the parts of the songs. That happens only once in the song, but it's just a great turnaround. And we'll go, and it's that one part going into this. Then they go break into the drum beat that follows along, and that's where that magnificent turnaround happens. So cool. It's what I love about the part is it's extremely subtle. You don't catch it unless you're following along and you're just kind of like, okay, wow. Number one, it shows James's that already very, very tight, precise rhythm structure. You know that. But that turnaround on the second time, I challenge you, go listen to it and play along with it, and you'll see, oh yeah, the turnaround is a little different, especially when he just sneaks that F chord in there. It's an excellent riff. And so second song, we're going to go skip ahead and we're going to go over to the Justice album. I remember hearing this riff and just going, wow, that is just fantastic. And again, classic James Hetfield riffs. And it's Dyers Eve, and it's the main riff basically after the big intro, you know, of the. So this is going into the riff. Okay, and then they go into the whole verse, which he has to give himself a break and just go. You know, whatever it is from there. But that stutter, especially on the, you know, because he's doing the slide, right? But the one time where he just leaves it without coming back with the fast picking. I love how he sneaks stuff like that in there. Classic James. So the next song, you're probably thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, it's so simplistic. How could you call it influential? Well, you tell me, because there's no question. Now we're going over to Ride the Lightning, 1984, which a lot of stuff's from Ride the Lightning on my list. But that, you know, we got... But it's that whole middle part, the chromatic death part, is put by SOD. But that whole... I don't think it's an over-exaggeration at all, in any way, shape, or form, to say that riff found its way onto thousands of thrash and metal records for years and years to come. I think it just became a pivotal riff, including Deliverance, I'll say, because it's just great. You got that heavily palm muted. He could have played it, you know... but it wouldn't have had the same effect. But doing it very tightly palm muted and that crunchy, you know. Like I said, it's found its way onto everything. Going forward, everybody was doing it. And I mean, there's a reason why. It's awesome. All right, same record. Nothing super or uber intricate going on here, other than the fact it demonstrates the power of James's down picking style. So, and of course, I'm talking about Creeping Death. But going into the main riff, right? Now I had the chance to see Metallica up close and personal at the Whiskey A Go Go. They played a show under the name Frayed Ends. And it was right before they were going to launch out for their tour. And they just, you know, a lot of bands did secret shows. And, but, you know, Frayed Ends of Sanity, you kind of knew it was Metallica. And we got word of it, got tickets, you know, myself, Larry, Brian Carrillo, we all went out. And I was passing back and forth between James and Kirk. And, you know, Kirk played it non-down picking. So he went, you know. And it didn't sound the same like that down pick. You know, Kirk was going. And I understand your wrist cramps up and everything else, and he's got to save it for his solos. So, but James was just a beast at it, and I just thought it was very, very influential. The down pick and creating that incredibly aggressive tone that we've all come to absolutely love. One of my other favorite riffs, another simple riff. It's nothing like, oh my gosh, that's like so hard to play, but it's the influence of it, and it's of course that lovely intro. Or the following the lovely intro and going right into Fight Fire with Fire. Now, you're going, what's so special about that? Well, number one, you got the drums going, tattoo, 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 right? And each hit of the chord is accenting the snare. And it's just awesome how he was able to do that while maintaining the... Just sounded like a blitzkrieg of helicopters flying, you know, just getting ready to come and get you, you know, just love it, love it. Something that's more noteworthy to me is during Kirk's solo. Again, during a solo, everybody's focused in on what the soloist is playing, right? And James switches up the rhythms. You know, he could have sure could have just, you know, played it along and... But he switches it up and does a very cool rhythmic thing here. And does... It's just so great because you got tattoo, 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 right? And then they break out of that, you know... So I just love it. Just think it's a great influence. It was a big influence for me. Now let's move fast forward to 1985, Master of Puppets. When I first heard this song, it was the first time KNAC out in SoCal, where I grew up in Southern California, They played this, and they played this track, and they said we got a sneak peek of the new Metallica album that's releasing in 3 weeks, and this song's called Disposable Heroes. And of course, you know, you hear that intro. It's following that I remember just hearing, and again, it was a jaw-dropping moment of hearing. And how it continues. Now, I always mused with myself, oh, and then he wrote the real simple part for Kirk to come over. It goes nicely, by the way, but, you know, but I always amused that, you know, because he had to hold that. And what's more amazing is during the verse, while he's singing, he's playing it. It's fantastic, fantastic stuff. Classic James, just the riff monster, you know. Okay, moving on. Same album. Now, the closing track, Damage Inc. I don't think anybody can get away from the fact, oh, what a great song. It really is cool. And then, you know, you got the... And that's all awesome. There's no question. You're listening to it and just going, yeah, that's bad. That's awesome. That's amazing. But when they break into that midsection, again, it was another jaw-dropping moment for me. When they break into that part, you know. And again, I muse with myself because during that part, you know, you got James going, and Kurt's part is. Okay, that's just my own personal musings. I'm not saying, oh, I heard a rumor or I read this somewhere. I'm just thinking it to myself, you know. So but that part, when I first heard that, and especially the turnaround right after the solo, they come back into that with the walk up, right? So cool. Love it, love it, love it. All right. So I have to cite this. Like I said, none of those were in any particular order. They were just riffs that over the years I've heard and just loved and was very heavily influenced by. But I don't think there is one song that's more pivotal or pivotal. Is it pivotal or pivotal? No, it's probably pivotal. Oh, either way. We'll just say Words is Hard, right? JHS. Watch that channel, by the way. It's awesome. But nothing more pivotal than that amazing intro for the Master of Puppets album. It's just a powerful song, and it's that powerful riff that drives it. And of course, I'm talking of none other than Battery. unbelievable part, man. Unbelievable part. And it just drives the song. The mixture of gallops and everything else that going on there is amazing. It really is. And but the other part I really, really love is, again, during Kirk's solo. He could have just played the same riff over and over, but he changed it up. And this is what he does. You see what he's doing there? He mutes that first chord. Then going back into the beauty. Gotta love it. All right, so there it is. Those are my favorite Hetfield, Metallica, however you want to call it, riffs that influenced and helped shape my rhythm style for years going forward. And it was a lot of fun going down Amnesia Lane and remembering these riffs and having fun with them, because they still influence me to this very day. So hope you enjoyed this video. Again, hit like, subscribe, and even the little ring-a-ding alerts you to more videos coming down the pike. And you're seeing a list of names scrolling across the board. Those are my lovely patrons, and I want to thank them because they're the ones keeping me going. So feel free to drop me a line. Go to www.jepabai.com. That's www.jpbii.com. So jpbii.com. And if you feel so inclined to become one of my patrons, get free music, all sorts of wonderful stuff, come by and visit my Patreon at patreon.com/jpbii or jepabai. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed yourselves, and I enjoyed myself playing those riffs, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care and keep jamming.